Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. A Russian drone strike on Saturday killed 9 civilians and injured 7 others as they were being evacuated by bus from Bielopia just hours after failed peace talks between Moscow and Kyiv ended. Ukrainian officials say the attack, which struck roughly 10 kilometers from the Russian border, was a deliberate targeting of non-combatants, with President Volodymyr Zelensky condemning it as a deliberate killing of civilians. Most of the victims were elderly women, and authorities are working to identify the deceased. While Russia's defense ministry claimed it struck a military target elsewhere in Sumy, it made no mention of the deadly bus attack. The incident comes amid renewed fighting near the Russian border and follows the first direct Ukraine-Russia peace talks in years held in Turkey. Though both sides agreed to a large prisoner swap, the talks collapsed after less than 2 hours, failing to produce a ceasefire. Tragedy struck New York's East River on May 17th when the Mexican Navy's tall ship Cuauhtémoc crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing 2 sailors and injuring 19 others, authorities said. The 300-foot training vessel reportedly lost power around 8:20 p.m., causing its illuminated mast to collide with the bridge and shear off. Among the 277 on board, 2 of the injured were listed in critical condition. New York Mayor Eric Adams expressed condolences on social media, praising first responders for preventing an even worse outcome. The vessel, which had been docked in Manhattan as part of a goodwill tour and public exhibition, was moments away from departure when the incident occurred. Video showed the ship's rigging colliding with the bridge as stunned bystanders fled from the scene. The Mexican government and U.S. officials pledged support, with both nations mourning the loss and continuing to assess the cause of the crash. Social Security benefits that millions of Americans depend on will be delayed during May. The Social Security Administration said checks will arrive later than usual. Those born between the 1st and 10th of the month will receive their payments on May 14th, while those born between the 11th and 20th will be paid on the 21st. Individuals born after the 20th will see their payments on the 28th. This schedule makes May's payments the latest of 2025. Supplemental Security income recipients will receive 2 payments this month. The May payment was issued on May 1st, and the June payment is scheduled for May 30th, due to June 1st falling on a weekend. Approximately 7.4 million Americans receive SSI benefits, with about 1/3 also receiving Social Security benefits. The Social Security Administration advises that if a beneficiary does not receive their payment on the expected date, they should wait 3 business days before contacting their bank or the SSA directly. The Environmental Protection Agency announced it will eliminate federal incentives for automatic start-stop engine technology, a move welcomed by drivers who have long criticized the feature for its inconvenience. Common in more than 60% of U.S. vehicles, the system shuts off the engine at red lights and restarts it when the driver accelerates to save fuel and cut emissions. Originally introduced under the Obama administration to meet fuel efficiency standards, start-stop technology has drawn complaints about sluggish acceleration, reduced air conditioning performance, and increased engine wear. While automakers tout its environmental benefits, critics argue the gains are negligible, especially for highway driving. The EPA's decision to remove incentives does not ban the technology, but signals a shift away from promoting it in federal emissions policy. Ford is recalling nearly 274,000 Expedition and Lincoln Navigator SUVs across the U.S. due to a defect that could lead to a brake fluid leak and increase the risk of a crash. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, front brake lines in the affected 2022 to 2024 models may come into contact with the engine air cleaner outlet pipe, possibly causing a loss of brake function. While no crashes or injuries have been reported, Ford has received 45 warranty claims related to the issue. The company will inspect and repair impacted vehicles free of charge, with owner notifications set to go out later this month. In the meantime, drivers can check if their SUV is part of the recall by visiting the NHTSA website or using Ford's recall lookup tool. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Cooking is the leading cause of home fires. Unattended cooking is the leading cause of these fires and related deaths. Therefore, keep a close eye on your cooking. If you must leave the kitchen, bring a utensil with you as a reminder of your efforts. Set a timer for food taking longer to cook. Turn pot handles towards the back of the stove. Keep a lid nearby when cooking. If a small grease fire starts, slide the lid over the pan and shut off the burner. You can take an active role in your safety. Cooking safety starts with you.
Welcome back. At last week's planning board meeting in Braintree, members discussed ongoing development proposals while also announcing the upcoming departure of Assistant Planning Director Connor Murphy, who has accepted a new role as Planning Director in the town of Canton. Murphy's resignation comes at a pivotal time for Braintree as the town is in the midst of the contentious budget hearings and grappling with long-term financial concerns. Here's more from the planning board meeting.
It is not on the agenda, but I wanted to mention Assistant Director Murphy, and I think at some of the prior meetings I've said this before, but he has stepped up and done an amazing job after Director Santucci-Razzi has left, and he has done a lot of hard work in the town of Braintree over the past 8 years, which I didn't even realize he started here as an intern and moved his way up to Assistant Director of Planning. And unfortunately for us, but fortunately for the town of Canton, he is moving on and has accepted a position as town planner for Canton. And so we will miss him dearly. This is his last meeting. And I just wanted to thank you for all of your help, particularly during this transitional period, but also over the past couple of years. So thank you.
Also during the meeting, new plans were announced for the now closed Burger King on Pearl Street. A new Chipotle is set to take over the building and preliminary plans were presented to the board. Here's more on the project.
So 2 buildings. We're going to proposing to take down the Burger King building and build a smaller Chipotle pad. The Chipotle pad will be 2,400 square feet as opposed to the Burger King, which is now 3,082. And the major modification on the retail building is to simply eliminate the condition that provided that that was a retail building, because the market demand turns out to be fast food. It was parked appropriately for the uses that are in there, Tennessee and Subway and the nail salon. So it's a recharacterization of that building. And in order to do that, the minor modification that you have before you as well, we put 8 of the parking spaces on the adjacent Pearl Plaza property. And we need 727 total spaces, and that's attached in the parking schedule that you have. So that's a project. It's pretty straightforward with a great improvement, replacing Burger King and a vacant building with a new building and a smaller one and a great product in Chipotle.
To watch the meeting in their entirety, check out BCAM TV's government channels Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 26. In other news, Food Truck Wednesdays are rolling into Braintree for the summer, kicking off on May 7th and running weekly through August 27th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Highlands Blue Playground near South Street and Cats Academy. Hosted in partnership with the South Shore Food Truck Association, the event will feature a rotating lineup of local food trucks offering residents a chance to enjoy dinner picnic style on the lawn. Organizers encourage attendees to bring blankets and check the association's social media pages each week for updates on which trucks will be serving. Braintree will honor veterans this Memorial Day with a special ceremony scheduled for Sunday, May 25th at 11 a.m. at Blue Hill Cemetery, located at 700 West Street. Complimentary coffee and donuts will also be available Saturday through Monday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the tent adjacent to the Veterans section. Residents who can't attend in person can watch the ceremony broadcast later on BCAM TV's government channels, Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 26. Braintree's Blue Bag program is returning for its second year, and Mayor Erin Joyce is inviting residents to help keep the town clean. Residents can participate by picking up a blue bag at the mayor's office, filling it with litter collected from anywhere in town, and leaving it securely tied near the curb. After notifying the mayor's office about the location, the Department of Public Works will come by to pick it up. For more information or to get involved, contact the mayor's office at 781-794-8000. The town of Braintree kicked off its annual hydrant flushing program on May 5th, running Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. through the end of August. Officials warn residents they may experience dirty water during the flushing process and ask for patience, advising people to avoid doing laundry during flushing hours and to check that water runs clear before using washing machines. If water appears dirty, residents should run cold water until it clears and then run an empty washing machine cycle. Signs will be posted in affected areas, and the town reminds residents it is not responsible for any laundry damage caused during the maintenance work. For questions or concerns, residents can contact the Water and Sewer Office at 781-794-8097. The Braintree Senior Center is offering a full slate of weekly programs and special events for residents 60 years and older. Weekly offerings include spa day by appointment, daily fitness classes, game day on Tuesdays, the Asian Outreach Group on Wednesdays, and movie day on Fridays. Special one-day events include an Alzheimer's support group on May 27th at 4 p.m. and on May 28th, Dr. Barker will host a houseplant care seminar at 1 p.m. All programs take place at the Braintree Senior Center, and you can call them to sign up at 781-848-1963. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
The library has some exciting programs coming up, and of course they are all free. Thursday, May 29th is an early release day for Braintree Public Schools. So kids aged 7 to 12 can do some hands-on robotics with CodeWhiz that day. CodeWhiz will provide the know-how and the robots. Space is limited to 20, so please register your child on the library's online event calendar at fairpubliclibrary.org/events. The evening of Thursday, May 29th at 6 p.m. is a murder mystery party. It is set in an enchanted forest. The teen librarian, Courtney Trudeau, directs this group of Braintree teen actors. Will you be able to guess who the murderer is? Registration is required. Register with library staff at 781-848-0405, extension 4417, or on our online event calendar at fairpubliclibrary.org/events. The night of the murder mystery party. Check-in begins at 6 p.m. and you'll receive a group assignment and a party packet. Doors will close at 6:30 to start the party, so don't be late. Dressing up is optional, so wear your best whimsical attire if you so desire. Light refreshments will be served. For adults who love to craft, come to the Craft Supply Swap. Join us Saturday, May 31st from 11 to 3:30 p.m. for our first craft supply swap. Start the spring fresh by bringing new or gently used arts and crafts materials to swap for new to you supplies. Each person may bring in up to 2 bags. Bring your extra fabrics, yarn, decorative paper, pattern, tools, paint, beads, and other arts and crafts materials. Donations are not required to participate. We recommend you bring a reusable tote to take home the items you choose. Many library resources are available to you at home 24/7. A very useful one for students is Peterson's Test Prep. which teens can use to do SAT prep for free. Peterson's has full-length practice exams to improve SAT scores, plus tutorials to build foundational knowledge. An info session for parents and teens will be offered at the library on Wednesday, June 4th at 7 p.m. with Courtney Trudeau, the teen librarian. In less than 1 hour, learn how Peterson's test prep can help students prepare not just for the SAT, but AP, ACT, GRE, and other exams too. All you need is a library card. On Saturday, June 14th, library staff will be at the opening day of Braintree's Farmers Market, right across the street from the library. The Farmers Market is open Saturdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's wonderful fresh produce and treats from a variety of vendors. Come see us at the community table. Spin the wheel to win a prize. Pick up information about this year's summer reading program for all ages and chat with our librarians. At 11 a.m., come over for our outdoor story time for young children with me, Miss Elizabeth. Library summer hours start on Monday, June 16th and end on Labor Day. Thayer Public Library will be open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Fridays. The library is closed on Saturdays during the summer. Call us at 781-848-0405 or visit thayerpubliclibrary.org. There's always something happening at Thayer Public Library.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. A boil water order has been issued for residents in parts of 6 South Shore communities after routine testing detected E. coli in the Abington and Rockland Joint Waterworks system. The Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection says the order applies to all residents in Abington and Rockland, along with certain water customers in Pembroke, Hanson, Hingham, and Whitman. Officials are urging residents to boil water for at least 1 minute or use bottled water for drinking, cooking, brushing teeth, and making baby formula. Any food or beverages prepared with tap water on or before Wednesday should be thrown out. E. coli contamination suggests the water may contain human or animal waste and can cause symptoms like nausea, diarrhea, stomach cramps, and headaches. A Braintree-based contractor has been fined nearly $20,000 by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration following a deadly residential construction collapse in Weymouth that killed 29-year-old Mario Diaz-Obata of Fall River in January. OSHA found that the structure was too unstable to safely support workers, contributing directly to the collapse, and cited J&P Construction for multiple safety violations, including allowing employees to work up to 25 feet high without fall protection, failing to provide proper training on fall hazards, and not assigning a qualified supervisor to regularly inspect the site and materials. The collapse led to a stop work order and construction resumed under a new contractor. The Norfolk County Recovery Fest is coming to Braintree on Saturday, June 14th. Offering a free day of music, hope, and community connection. Held from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Braintree Public Safety Complex on Washington Street, the event will feature live performances from local bands, family-friendly activities including a zip line, free food, and a competitive cornhole tournament, hosted by Massachusetts Young People in Recovery. Organized to support those impacted by addiction and to celebrate recovery, the fest will also feature dozens of vendors from the recovery community offering resources and support. All are welcome to attend this uplifting and informative event. Boston Children's Hospital is hosting a blood drive Thursday, May 22nd at the Thomas Crane Public Library in Quincy. You can head to 40 Washington Street from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Just watch out for this specially outfitted bloodmobile on site. Organizers say all presenting donors will receive a free Boston Children's cooler bag, and appointments can be made by scanning the QR code on flyers, visiting bostonchildrens.org/halfpint, or calling 617-355-6677. Any questions can be directed to Dan at coughlindi40@yahoo.com. Weymouth will pay tribute to 5 Medal of Honor recipients this Memorial Day with the unveiling of new bronze statues at a special ceremony on Monday, May 26th at 11 a.m. at the Ralph Talbot Amphitheater outside of Town Hall. Mayor Robert Hedlund and the Weymouth Veterans Council will lead the event, making Weymouth the only town in the country with 5 Medal of Honor honorees. The ceremony will feature remarks from Weymouth native and retired 2-star Major General Paul K. Hurley and will include student participants, local honor guards, a wreath laying for the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War, and the ceremonial raising of military flags. Funded in part by donations in Weymouth 400, each 6-foot statue will be paired with a citation plaque. Following the tribute, the United States Coast Guard Band will perform a free concert at 1 p.m. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree today. Now this week in entertainment, we have 3 recommendations for you to watch. First, Fight or Flight follows a mercenary who takes on the job of tracking a high-value asset known only as the Ghost on an international flight. Realizing the plane is filled with assassins assigned to kill them both, the pair must work together in a fight for their lives. The film stars Josh Hartnett and Katie Sackhoff. You can watch Fight or Flight now in theaters. Up next, Shadow Force follows an estranged couple with a bounty on their heads who must go on the run with their son to avoid their former employer, a unit of shadow ops that has been sent to kill them. The film stars Kerry Washington and Omar Sy. You can watch Shadow Force now in theaters. And finally, Novocaine follows Nathan Kane, a man incapable of feeling any physical pain due to a rare condition. When the girl of his dreams gets kidnapped, his condition becomes an unexpected advantage in the fight to rescue her. The film stars Jack Quaid and Amber Midthunder. You can watch Novocaine now on Paramount+. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. You can also now see us in high definition on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.